Alright, I've had some people ask me about how I've been making these incubators, and it's no big secret. It just takes some time and a little bit of time in figuring out what you want, where you want to place stuff. As you can see, this is a double side by side. First of all, probably what you want to do is you want to start off with an incubator. To build one of these incubators, you're going to want to find a refrigerator. You're going to want to find one that's got good gasket all the way around. The bottoms are where they usually crack because of all the gunk from the refrigerators. And if you do really good to find a newer style fridge in the last 5-10 years, they come with the defrost units, so they come with usually with two 110 fans on them, so you can utilize those fans in this application. It's what we want to do first is, after that, you want to think about if you want a refrigerator up top with a hatcher and how much room you're going to want to have, so you can figure out what size refrigerator you have. If you just want to do a couple of trays, or if you want to turn stuff by hand, you can use a much smaller refrigerator. It doesn't matter, just depends on what you want. So you got to figure that out. After that, you figure out what you want. If you're wanting two, you're going to have to invest in two digital controllers here. You can find these on eBay. They are digital temp controllers, real easy to wire up. What I do is, and I know it looks kind of Frankensteinish sometimes to some people, especially to an electrician, what I do is I figure out where I'm going to place my lights, and since this thing was split here, two different sides, I'll put my light for that one over there. This one I decided to put it right here underneath here. It goes straight into the box, or straight over to here. That way it has the fan. There was a fan underneath here that was already part of the refrigerator, and I took advantage of that, and this is the cord to that fan inside there. So what I have here is a fan going up to this unit over here. I have a fan going to this unit over here already there. I buy these little orange ones to remind myself to wire it up to the controller. So once you have your two controllers in hand, I run a power cord here for a 4-box. So I wire up 4 in here. This gives me my power to the whole thing. So after you do that, you wire it up that way. Got it all planned out. So on the front side, once you got some of your electrical kind of thought about, you go in here, you're going to want to drill a hole in here into the plastic. This is plastic, it's real easy to drill through. A lot of this stuff, unless it's stainless steel, is easy to drill through with a regular bit. I usually use a good size, like a 3/8 bit, drill my hole to put my electrical through it. Then I also do a hole saw to cut out about this big around. Woo. This is the unit. As you can see, it's got stuff already cut in there. Drill a pilot hole, you go in there with your drill, you drill that hole out. That way your electrical for your wires there have a place to set in there and set flush. You don't have to worry about moisture getting back in there as bad. You don't have to worry about stuff like that at all. Okay, so you got your light there. So you kind of figure out this is your hatch, or this is your incubator side. So you end up using your crisper thingy. Got another crisper tray, so you can put a tray here, or a tray here, whatever, turner. So this could hold about six turners. And if you want to put something down in the bottom, or here, turn by hand. So here is your probe for your one controller coming from your other side, and your electrical had it going out there. Instead of cutting another hole, I shared another hole. So you kind of plan out, if you're going to have a small under-counter refrigerator, you'd probably have one light bulb, and you want to use a splitter so that if one light bulb goes out, the other one's there for you. So your other side of it is this amount of area to heat. You're going to need at least 260s or so. You can use bigger, but you'll have to figure that out. Just play with it and see how it goes. Hatcher side. This one kind of came already kind of with a fan back underneath here. Air blows here. Actually blows on the back side. I got 2 light bulbs here. Heats this area up real quick. Ran my probe from my temp controller back there. If I was going to use this unit, I would be able to hatch down here, hatch here, hatch here, hatch here. Probably put myself a tray right about here. Find this kind of stuff, cut it, fit, cut, fit. You can put screws here for this stuff to hang on, however you want to do it. I left this in here for Amy, if she so chooses to do it this way. This hole right here is where the ice maker was, over here on the freezer side. So she could run a hose out there with water setting up on top to drip into a tray right here, whatever, for moisture, for keeping that moisture perfect for the hatchery side here. So the other side of it is you want to think about what you're going to do for a window, if you want to, for your hatchery side. Of course, this is stainless steel. It's not easy to cut into unless you have some jigsaw would work with a metal blade, drill some holes, cut it out. Fortunately, this was the ice maker. I just removed all the ice maker products. This is actually water hose that come in here. This to me is where I kind of get bogged down on how to finish this stuff out. I've been telling people to just maybe take some hardened type plastic, long pieces, cut it, silicone it in here. That's something I haven't been able to master yet, but as long as it's away from the chicks and the chicks can't get to it, it is okay to a degree. You probably do want to put something eventually in here like this to cover this up to keep from bacteria growing in here. And this is going to sweat a little bit because the moisture is going to be a little higher on this side. So so you have your temp probe here from the other side, your lights, moisture is going to come in here, got your fan, so you can kind of plan that out like that. Now the other side is here, just a quick review on how to wire one of these temp controllers up. Got your probe wires going in here. You'll put that into your NTC. You have your load coming in. It is going to be interrupted. So you put a white, put 2 whites, you'll put your black, you put your white, then you'll come in with your load coming into here, and then you'll come in with your plug in here. All the whites go together, all the blacks go together, greens go together for your ground. I left this unwrapped for insulation here, or electrical tapes, just to kind of show how this works. Same thing with this one. Looks a little Frankensteinish, but it works perfectly as long as nobody's sitting back here hanging off of them. Works pretty good. The other side of it is there is a electrical down here that runs inside the hatchery side, or the turner, or the incubator side, and that is a plug-in for your turners. So you have kind of a gist of the electrics there. Like I said, these can be bought on eBay. Just search digital temp controllers. You could probably also find them on Amazon. Another thing is your venting. I put 3 large holes through here. As you can see, the light's still on in there. Right now they're covered up with just tape. So you'll have to kind of come up with your own way of blocking them off. And then I'll put 3 large holes down here. That way heat automatically will escape this way, sucking in cold air, fresh air in there now. Also, just by way of heat escaping. It's going to escape slowly around up here anyhow, so it's going to pull in a little cold, fresh air no matter what, unless you totally block those off over there. Same thing with this side over here. Got them just blocked off right a moment with some little tape. 3 of them down there. So in the long run, it just kind of depends on what you want to do, how you want to do it, what size you want to do. And when speaking of size, I was kind of blessed with this big thing, this monstrosity, and right now I got some eggs in it. It's going to probably end up going to somebody else I promised it to, or I'm going to build that person one. Anyhow, we're not going to talk about that. So what we got, just one on here, because this is just going to be used as the incubator. When these eggs are done, I'm going to use it for a hatcher. Right now, this is reading 38.2. The size this is, I have to have the temperature hit 38.5 almost to make this size work. I also had to add extra heat. This has a fan down here. I had to add this bad boy because it was not enough for just those 2 lights. So this one, before it goes to its new owner, I will probably install a 3rd light up there, wire it all in. But this is a 1500 watt. It's set at a little bit less than what I need, but it brings the temperature up. I had to set here for several minutes playing with it to get it right. So right here, as you can see, if I get enough lights from the light bulbs, if I was even to put 2 more up there, I could remove this. Be plenty of room to have a tray in here, which is a slider in here. Okay, so with your temp controllers, what you want to start figuring out is you got your load coming in for your light here. So it's going to have a white wire. You will take your 1 white wire, just a bare white wire, a lead, bringing it off there. You put another white wire here over here on 3, put the black wire on 4. You put the load from the light, light in between here, so which is the white wire. You'll put it into 2. So then you'll take the black that you make up, the white that you make up, and the white makeup. So it'll go white, nothing in that spot, white, and white. So what I'm saying is you make these up real quick before you bring this in and put this over here. Then you make sure you have your leads long enough so you wire all the whites together, wire all the blacks together, and then that's controller, when this temperature hits, this probe interrupts this light. That's all this is doing. It's just interrupting the light. Same thing here. Looks a little Frankensteinish. I left these wires unwrapped from electrical tape, so I could tape this and show this what's going on. These are really easy little units to put into if you just take a few minutes and understand, and even draw it out on a piece of paper if you have to. Your load, this is your load. This is your power coming into it right here. This is your power. Power's coming in. So you're bringing in power. What you're doing is interrupting the load. So you still have to tie all the whites, all the blacks, and most of the all these temp controllers will come with a wiring schematic. So for people who can read schematics and understand that a lot easier than other folks, you should have no problem with all of this. So other than that, that's just a quick thingy on the wiring for it. Like I said, here is the fan for this unit, fan for this unit. I left the leads too long, but we'll see how that goes. Also, I just would recommend that you put in just a power strip here. That way you can plug in your Turner motor, your Turner power here. That way you can plug in all your Turners in there, and then you got a place to plug in your main power. Then if anything happens to it, at least you got a power surge. Protect this, protect all this. I'm not saying that these are going to last through any kind of a power surge, because I don't know for sure. I don't know how that works as far as if there's a safety on there. I'm sure there is, but you never know with electricity, and it's nice to be able to have a little security with a power strip. So that's about it there. Just a quick thingy to understand one more time, recap this. You got your temp probe going in. It's controlled here on this side. You got your load coming in from your light. That's your light. If you're interrupting, if you don't want to use a light, you can use reptile heated mat. You could use a small little tiny heater or whatever you have, something if you wanted to. These are 110, so whatever runs with the 110, you're going to want to take a white wire to go to 1, take a white wire and put it into 3. You're going to take a black wire, put it into 4. Going to strip them all and everything off to make sure they're long enough to do the twist with the cap. Then you'll put all the blacks together, put all the whites together, put the greens together so it's grounded. That interrupts. When this thing says it's the temperature, that interrupts it. Pretty, like I said, it's on YouTube. It's been around the world a long time. People asking, and I got some people who are desperately wanting to make these on their own. They're living in a cabin, living out in the middle of nowhere, and you know, can't always get to town to see this or that, or come by here. And so we're making a video for them. So we can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here easy. We could even do doubles in here if we had to. Right now, as you can see, I got a 40 or a 34. You can slide that over a little ways. You could probably put a 12 egg turner in here. Got plenty of room to turn by hand. This little unit alone would probably, you could probably put 200 eggs in here if you really wanted to do it, something like this size. And you only need 1 temperature control if you're going to hatch in the same thing. It was hitting 99. Looks like my humidity's up a little high. It was hitting at 108, or is hitting at 98.5 on the old Mercury, but it was hitting at 99 on the new Mercury. And so it just kind of depends on how you want to do things. Like I said, I got a Turner motor in here. I even wired these up like this with the extra plug-in, so at least this is being turned off and on with a temperature controller, so you could add backup heat if you had to, if you didn't trust the system. But when you look for this kind of stuff, look for working fans. This one's already in there. It blows like air up this way, blows it out of here like this, and so it allows it to circulate like it's supposed to. And sky's the limit. Just depends on what you want. It's no big secret. These temp controls are easy to get, and it takes just a little bit of wiring, correct wiring, I guess you say. A little bit of electrical, a little bit of know-how. Doesn't take much with just learning a few things. Mostly it's just knowing your positive and your negatives, your grounds, getting it all correct. Okay, hope we covered a bunch here, and one of these days we'll get this little window set up, hopefully done a little different, a little better, a little more professional. But this thing right here is being saved from the landfill now, saving it from the landfill, and it's going to go to a new home. It's also going to be able to profit the new owner, be able to hatch more, be local birds, be local for the family, be local for the community. Nothing has to be brought in birds from hatcheries if they do not want to. And someone like this who owns this kind of thing could hatch enough birds for somebody all year long, enough birds to supply a small community, and saving it from the landfill. So folks, that's about it right at the moment. I hope this video is coming out a little bit better than it is sitting on top of my head, and I hope my audio is cranking up, and I do. Please excuse the mess. Try to edit some of this stuff out. It's going to be posted on my YouTube channel, hopefully, and we'll see what we can do with getting some people some knowledge of this. All right, folks, interested, PM me. You could reach me at Alaska Flock Talk and Swap. You could probably hashtag that. You could hashtag us, and we'll see if we can get something to you. All right, peace out.